Okay, so we are actually, I was assessing what is the power of a country. Which country is more powerful? Nowadays, it is called that country who has which country is the most powerful in the world. Right now, it is considered as United States is the most powerful country in the world, followed by China, followed by Russia. Why? Because their military power is very high. How military power is very high? Because their military budget is very high. If military budget of a country is very high, then nowadays it is considered as very powerful country. India, I believe it stands fourth number. So India military budget is fourth, I believe so. I don't know. India military budget, whatever. But these are the first three that is for guaranteed. America, China, and Russia. They spend very high amount in the military expenditure. Now, question is arising that a country is powerful because of the military power. Is it, or country is powerful because of its population? Because India is the largest populated country in the world. In that sense, is the India the most powerful country? What is the net criteria to be powerful, the most powerful country in the world? What is the criteria to become most powerful country in the world? One is that country GDP is very high. GDP means how much is the gross domestic product, how much is the product finished good, how much is the product that country is generating. If country is generating good agricultural grains, that is also considered as a product generation only, because it is industry. So how much is the power of industry of a country? That is the contribution in the GDP of the country. If country is a highly agricultural country and its food grain or cereal production is very high, that is considered as agriculture industry only. In that sense, what is GDP? If country is making good houses, then that is also considered as finished product only. What is the worth of these houses or homes that comes under GDP? Or car, it is manufacturing, not importing. How much it is manufacturing, not exporting. How much it is manufacturing, how much cereal, food grain it is manufacturing. Is this the consideration? So the powerful person, any person is considered as powerful who has the biggest muscle strength. He can achieve gold medal in running. He can bring gold medal whatever. If someone is bringing more gold medal in Olympics, that country is considered as the most powerful country. In that, these three countries again stand in top three: Russia, China, and America. If you see the kind of military power, again military budget is highest in these countries only: Russia, China, and America. Before that, it was Soviet Union. There also Olympic gold medal was highest with the USSR, I believe so. Means the country power lies in the strength of people. Strength of people is directly proposed how much the Olympic gold medal they are getting. Olympic gold medal and military strength, these are the strength that talks about the power of a country. Okay, what are the other factors that people can think about? One is area of the world, area of the country, how big the country is. That can also be a meter to consider. We are talking about which country is the most powerful country in the world. So we can consider area factor also as far as power is concerned. If country is very very small, what power it will what power it will have? Or if country population is very high, so population factor, area factor, military budget factor, or annual budget, military budget, or the GDP. Which factor decide for the maximum power of a country? For sure, the military power is considered as the most powerful factor of a country, not the economic power. In Olympics, not the very high economic power country, they get the high gold medal, not required. India is more economically powerful than I believe there is a country in Caribbean. Okay, I'm forgetting the country name. Okay, those countries they get more gold medal than India in kind of Olympics. Or Philippines, I believe it got two gold medal, whereas India did not get any gold medal. Okay, whatever it is, but I would go with the military power right now. Anyway, I have prepared a chart of few countries how much they have the different kind of power: military power, annual budget power, GDP power, area power, population power. Okay, so that we will see. Jamaica. I believe Jamaica is a country in Caribbean, and Jamaica always wins more than two, three gold medal. At least I have never seen India getting two, three gold medal. One gold medal maximum it gets. So in that sense, Jamaica would be considered as more powerful as far as the Olympic Games is concerned. But anyway, there are countries they are powerful in military also, and they are powerful in Olympics also. Anyway, first we will see which country has the maximum military power, maximum military budget, that we will see. Okay, so in that sense, United States has around $7 trillion as their annual budget, and $1 trillion, 900 billion, or 1 trillion dollar is the annual budget. $900 billion is the annual budget in in annual budget for the country, which is around 3.4% of the total GDP. Means around $34 trillion is the net GDP of America. Means that much product they make, either it is agricultural product, or it is household, it is automobile sector, it is software, it is hardware, whatever it is. That much product they manufacture. That is so their their defense budget is around $900 billion, $1 trillion. Their annual budget is $6.7 trillion. That is also very high. Second comes is China, whose annual budget is $3.4 trillion, around half of America. Okay, and their the military budget is $290 billion, one third of America, less than one third of America. That is 1.8% of net GDP. Means China can spend more on the military as per its GDP or whatever it is, but it spend less whatever. Third place is Russia, whose the annual budget is $415 billion. The Russia, the kind of annual budget is $415 billion. Okay, in that sense, its military budget is around $130 billion. This is 6.3% of its GDP. Means Russia spends a lot. If it $415 billion, if $415 billion is its annual budget, $130 billion it spends in military only. Russia is a country which spends a lot in military. As far as population of the Russia, I believe it is less than 20 crore to 200 million population. Less than 20 crore population is Russia. In that sense, it spends a lot in military budget. India stands okay in the military budget. India stands fourth, and its military budget is $80 billion, whereas annual budget is around $500 billion. So India's annual budget is $500 billion, whereas Russia annual budget is $415 billion, less because population is less. But defense budget India is $80 billion, where Russia defense budget is $130 billion. India spends 1.9% of annual GDP in the military strength. Saudi Arabia $1.2 trillion is annual budget, that much high because selling the oil, and it spends around $75.8 billion in military. That is also very high. It is in parallel to India. That much Saudi Arabia spends in military. That is 7.1% of its GDP. That is again very high. Then it comes at United Kingdom. $1.5 trillion is United Kingdom budget is that is much higher to India also, three times, and it spends $75 billion in military, 2.3% of the GDP. Germany spends their money budget is $501 billion, higher to India, and it spends $67 billion in military, 1.5% of the GDP. Ukraine, $53 billion is the annual budget, only $53 billion. Okay, I believe this data is wrong. I believe it would be more. So and it spends $64 billion in the military budget. So this data would be wrong. $53 billion is the budget as far as this data is concerned, and $64 billion it spends in military. That is 37% of the GDP. Half of the GDP money it is going in military only, or it is receiving money from America or whatever. That's why military budget is more than its annual budget, whatever. This is Ukraine right now. France, $400 billion is annual budget, $61 billion it spends in military. Japan, $735 billion is annual budget, $50 billion it spends in military. South Korea, $471 billion in annual budget, and it spends $47.9 billion in military. So in military, United States, China, Russia, India, Saudi Arabia, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Japan, and South Korea. This much they spend in the military budget. Think about the Ukraine. It spend more than its annual budget. I mean, it receives a lot of money from NATO, America, or other places to combat Russia. Anyway, if we see this is the annual military budget of the country, if we see kind of population wise, then India, China, United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Nigeria, Brazil, these are the bigger country in population. Russia stands nowhere. I believe it is 14 or 15 crore people they live in Russia. Then see their budget and then see their military budget. Amazing. So population wise, India, China, US, Indonesia. Indonesia population is 27 crore. Its annual budget is $207 billion. And on army, on defense, it spends $9.75 billion. India spends $80 billion. America spends $900 billion per year. Indonesia spends $9 billion, 9.75. Next populated country is Pakistan, 24 crore. In that, its annual budget is $67 billion. India annual budget is $500 billion. And then Pakistan spends $7.6 billion in its army. That is very, very high. $67 billion is income, 7.6 is spent in the defense only. Nigeria, 22 crore population, $16 billion is the net GDP, net its budget, and 247 million, not even a 1 billion, it spends in its in defense system. Means there is no war kind of situation near Nigeria. Brazil, 21 crore population, 396 billion US dollar is its budget, and $21.8 billion it spends in military. These are the country population wise. If we see the area wise, then Russia comes first, then followed by, I believe, Canada, and then followed by America, Brazil, China, Australia, and India. Everywhere we have talked about what is Canada. Canada, I believe, it comes second largest country, but its population is around 4 crore only. Canada annual budget is $449 billion. India is $500 billion. Canada is $449 billion. Can someone believe it? It is similar to India. India population is 150 crore. Canada population is 4 crore. In that sense, the budget is similar. But Canada spends only $1.65 billion in military. America spends $900 billion in its defense. Canada spends 1.65 billion in defense because it is understood that American defense system it protects Canada. So Canada does not have to spend much in the defense system. American defense system works for Canada. Okay, so not required. Like Indian defense system works for Bhutan. Bhutan does not have its own army or something like that. India fight for them. Anyway, Australia $460 billion is the annual budget and $36.8 billion it spends in the defense system. $80 billion India spends, but annual budget is similar to India. Size is around 2.7 times more than India. That is Australia. Population wise, again, it is similar to Canada one, very less. Anyway, now let's see the GDP, the gross domestic product, how much a country manufactures. In that sense, America comes first. $25 trillion is the America GDP. China $17 trillion. Japan $4.2 trillion. Germany $4 trillion. India $3.3 trillion. So $3.3 trillion is the India's strength, power of India. GDP is the power of a country to produce items. Okay, United Kingdom $3.0 trillion, France $2.7 trillion, Russia $2.2 trillion, Canada $2.1 trillion, Italy $2.0 trillion. So if I see there are two factors we are seeing that are looks like near to each other. One is GDP and one is military expenditure. The country which has more GDP has more military strength. This is what we are seeing. If we exclude Canada, because anyway, America is taking care of Canada. Otherwise, GDP is the factor that leads any country to have more military strength. If you see GDP, USA is number one. Military strength is number one. China is number two. Military strength is number two. Japan is number three. Military strength of Japan is again in top 10 only. Germany is number four. Germany is also in the fifth or sixth in the military strength. India is number fifth in the GDP. It is fourth in the military strength. United Kingdom is sixth. It is again in top 10 of the military strength. France is 2.77. Again, it is in top 10 military strength. Russia is 2. It is here also in GDP top 10. In top 10 in the military strength also. Canada same because anyway it is part of America kind of in military system. Okay, so as per the data, what we have analyzed, the country which has bigger GDP, not required how big it is in area, how big it is in population. South Korea, yes, they have higher GDP. So country which has more tendency to develop things, the more tendency to develop products rather than using the product. Country who are not consumer, producer, the country who are more producer of item not required that athletics medal also. Okay, that may be similar, but I should have put that athletic gold medal also here. But what we found that country which has bigger GDP strength, people produce more. Their military power is also very high. All the countries who are in top 10 of GDP producing country, they are in top 10 military budget also. So this is what is the inference, mind blowing, amazing. So let's be productive.